Utie oha echi ponkno. Needs FM.
Okay. Eti yenshe yera Domelovo issue ya bay. Why labor expert, how do you see it?
Well, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. And the very first place, one of the things that I ask myself, well, who is the employer? Well, the employer is government. If the employer is government, well, how come within the course of the year, well, he went to me, I'm taking a leave, which he's entitled to. Maybe because he was doing something. Was there any agreement that the leave would be, in any case, accumulated over a period of time? In any case, it is a benefit. It is a benefit. So I can decide that yes, I would want to forfeit those benefits. So if it is any case at all, some of them might mean then it's a benefit to me as per the law. It's a benefit to me. So if I am not, I think that my interest in the country and me being a patriot, I would want to commit myself to the country in doing something. So for instance, I would want to forfeit that benefit in the interest of the nation. Well, if indeed the employer, which is the government, had sat down with him to discuss that, did they have any prior arrangement in terms of the accumulation of the leave and so forth and so on? Those are the thorny issues that we need to deal with. And in any case, I don't know how the Auditor General appointment really comes through and the conditions within the letter now demand or not. Because these are critical things that we need to look at. Because if I'm entitled to a leave, my employer should tell me you are entitled to this number of leave every year. And this leave should be taken in conjunction with the employer when we have discussed. There should be some contract between the two of them when we have adequately discussed these issues. So it was just something that was done. Is there any documentation to say that in the month of January, in the year 2014, management leave, we have agreed that I transfer it to the next 2015. Was there any such thing? Because there should be that comment. It is a benefit due me. And if indeed within the year I don't take it, I don't unilaterally take that decision and say, yes, I'm transferring it. I would have to agree with my employer. Was that there? Did we have that in any documentation? All these things would have to come to the fore.
In a situation like Mr. Domelovo, Senka on any employer etna say to arrange for this accumulated leave.
Obviously, it's not just the accumulated, even the annual leave. It is supposed to be an employer-employee thing.
Okay.
We live in a community. In the paper, we share near my backwards within the year. Meaning, say, Bosumi, we were near maybe a 2 year opportunity. So I would need some time, in as much as it is for me to rest and to indeed reflect on my work and come back with some innovative and creative ways. I should also look at some of the things I'll be doing in the year. So to arrange with my employer to tell you that, okay, yes, within the month of August, I think that because of Nebaware, and I I will need this period for the leave and so forth and so on. To the extent that in some organizations, as it's done, they spread it. I take 1 week within January. I take another week. Insofar as I don't exceed the number of days due me. That flexibility should be there between the employer and employee to order well for that mutual trust and consideration. And at the end of the day, engender the committee. It is a benefit given the employee. And even it's a benefit given the employee, the idea behind it is that it will indeed stimulate commitment on the part of the employee. But if it is done in such a way that although it is a benefit the employee takes it and still gets paid, he comes back grudging. It means that the benefit to the organization, because any benefit that accrues to the employee should also in return give some benefit to the organization. And so what would happen that an impact family leave in a mutually consensual manner. What would then happen is that and no sound may cover now immediately I bring some more commitment and more verm into the work. But if I am pushed to go in a gradual manner, when I come, I am still hurt. I am not happy. So the benefit that the organization is supposed to derive from me, I'm not sure the organization will derive that benefit from me.
Prof, when you say was employer no system employee be within the year echo leave.
Yeah, but that is
No, and maybe I don't know. A dear potent labor law no eka found.
And America said, if it is a case that one you do not take it, you forfeit. You don't.
Okay.
It is forfeited. If you don't take it, you forfeit. So, for instance, if you are entitled to leave, no, and that's why in many organizations with human resource information system, they are able to create a chart to give the periods where individuals can take their leave within various departments. It will be actually itinerary within the year and try to block those places. So, if you block a place to say that you'll be going on leave within this period, and for some reason, not from the organization or not with an agreement of with the organization, you decide that what you are not going to, you have forfeited it.
Yes, share a fun way. Doesn't lie in the hands of the employee to determine, say, or only somebody should act in his absence or the space should be left blank.
No, that's not the roles within organization. It's not a delegated role. It is not a delegated role because in your absence, when you go on leave, you are not accountable. So that is much more empowerment. It falls within the laws of the organization. So that is not. It is only when you are in position and maybe you are unable to come to work or you are going to, and you decide that what you are delegating, then you can decide who, because what anybody will be to the was only in your absence. And so when from Sudiana, you are still accountable and you are still responsible. So that becomes a delegated bit. But once you are on leave, whoever takes over from you is empowered. It's not delegated. There's a difference between empowerment and delegation.
And
when you delegate, what it means is that what you are still culpable, you are still liable. Even when the person you delegated to, you are still culpable. But when one is empowered, the person who has been empowered is responsible and is culpable. So what it means is that what who on leave, because when you're on leave and something happens wrong in your absence, nobody can call you to question you whatever, because what you didn't delegate to anybody, because somebody has been empowered to do the job. So that person is answerable, and that person will have to respond to it. So I don't think that's what if somebody is on leave, the person has any right to determine who takes over for. He can only suggest. He can only suggest that I think, but what you don't have any right to say that what this person should take over from you or that person. No. It is not a delegated responsibility. It's not a delegated role. No, you are not delegated.
Okay.
Once you are on leave, somebody is empowered to do the job.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Ne family say, eba say me no na ye adwuma prof. And afia so say me leave. And I'm so prof. Leave no menko. Do you have to insist that I take that leave?
Yes, for some reason there's some interest in here. Let me tell you what. Indeed, in organizations, many a times, among folk who leave, breaks in that work. That is when we are able to uncover a lot of fraud. That is where we are able to also see the efficiency and effectiveness of the system and other people within the system as well. So yes, in the interest of the organization, it is important that sometimes you allow people to go on their leave, take it. And in that short period, you would see as new people assume those roles, you will see that there are some routes that are being done that really were uncovered. So yes, leaving allows for that. An organization, and indeed, as that as well, it also allows the individual to recuperate. It brings some freshness in the individual. Indeed, if the individual, Ghana said, I'm out for John Oliver, and I'm out for the farm, somebody, they come back even more tired than. But then can you take them more? The essence of the leave is for you to relax. It's for you to rest. And once you rest, it is and reflect on the job that you've been doing over the years. You come back with fresh ideas. You come back with new skills, new thoughts to grow the organization. Indeed, yes, the organization, the paper one, you would have to insist because it has some benefits for the organization.
Prof, ne kwakwa no. Who call leave? Do you have to take any property belonging to the organization along with you?
The paper one, because I'm not okay. It is a bit complex because I can imagine second the paper one. Uncle Liva, I saw Jawichi. Yeah, you have handing over notes. You have staff that in Nipana will take over from you. Or no, he knows where to take her from, where to go, and so forth. So a number of things you can pay more than a corner. But we know, we share a year controversies there because we are, I said, my comment call, overcall, on company. So it means that what the proper handing over, a lot of things have not been done right. And maybe he's thinking that, well, yes, he couldn't be pushed over. Maybe he has left his personal stuff in there. For organizational stuff, yes, you can't take it away, no. But your personal stuff, yes, you know, that's what remember. One of the things I mention all the time, working adults, we spend majority of the time that we are away within the work environment. Into our work, our offices, you know, have become a extension of our homes. So sometimes our personal stuff, we bring it in there. We bring it in there because we look at the time. That's such a story. I'm sorry, I'm not going to one of people. I'm sorry, I'm not here, but now, sometimes you know, late in the evening, I'll go here. And then, what case, you know, put them away for hours spent. Put them away hours spent. But look at all the hours you spend. Our office, so you want to bring things in there that will make you comfortable. That will make so yes, I'm out for your kettle, I'm with your teacup, I'm with your provisions, I'm with the so if I'm on leave, yes, I would want to take. Some people even store their medicines in the office because they spend majority of the time there.
Yeah,
no leave. No leave, I don't call it medical fee. It is a personally the medical.
Okay.
But organizational bit well, it stays there.
Yeah, because what the Mr. Domelovo issue no atoto ho a. Na ye hwe ni say ade no nya de a ye yiwadi. So ho. Ye yiwadi in this case or de ne office keys e call ye outie near board no mpanyufo e ka se o sneaky in no. Is that the right thing to do? Who a labor expert?
I mean, in organization, the issue of trust, when there's no trust between employer and employee, when trust is broken, even when individuals have genuine intention, the business constitutes to be something else. And that is what, because well, I can imagine that well, in my absence, it has been said that well, yes, the deputy auditor general should take over and The deputy auditor general has an office. So the thinking is that what he would work from his office, and it's not the case that what is the acting so now he's coming to sit in my office. That's what the assumption is, and perhaps that is the reason why he still handles his key one. The second bit is that what indeed, if I'm handing over, then I'm supposed to hand over everything that belongs to the organization, including the keys to the office. Including the keys to the office. I can imagine that one, the auditor general's role, because acquires there is an investigating role in a so what there are some confidential stuff in the office. Well, that is why most of the times they wouldn't even leave their keys at the security post and so forth and so on. But then this brings to the fore another question that we need to address because many times, you know, within the public sector, the office be the sheet. Let's see, the keys coffee. No, they are security guards over there. Then all the keys in the coffee, all the keys in the coffee. You consider Google office name aqua fire or aqua put something. It is the issue of trust that does not exist within the organization. That has led to that. Can the department has hand you over the deputy and auditor general? Our documents now what deputy auditor general officer or the human. There Mr. Obama office very relaxing. But the fact of the matter is that it is clear to everybody that well, yes, indeed, they are not in normal time. And indeed, the employer and the employee relationship. As Mr. Domelovo and the government really have gone frosty. And that is why there's suspicion. And this is what I thought where the issues were there.
Prof, Professor Amponsan Tewia, a lecturer at Legon Business School, and now assign a labor expert. Now to say, no education common ebusuya.
Utie oha exi punk no. Needs FM.